As the owner of a company that provides Google Ads service to contractors, I get to talk to all sorts of people about their experience with Google Ads. And half the people I talk to say Google Ads doesn't work. I put $500 in and I only got one lead and it's just total BS. That's just wrong. And that's what this video is about, is to help you understand that your small budget is probably the reason why you're not making more money. And it's kind of counterintuitive because you think like, oh, if I spend more, then I'm going to have less. And the way that I look at it is like there's two directions you can look. You can look at the little bit of money or resources you have, and you can focus all of your attention on how do I keep these resources. Or you can turn around and look the other way and look at the infinite amount of more resources you could gain. And me personally, I like to focus on the infinite resources I could gain, because if I can just figure out how to do that at any kind of level, then I'm probably going to be a lot better off than trying to hold on super tightly to the limited resources I have. And that's not to say that I think it's a good idea to go blowing money willy-nilly, because that's a one-way ticket to the McDonald's food line. But I've just found through personal experience that the more I focus on what's out there and less in here, the more money I make. And a big part of that is when you're advertising, you have to understand the situation you're getting into. I just talked to a guy about this, I think yesterday. And he was interested in doing Google Ads. And he was very focused on the few $1,000s a month he was about to spend. And that's understandable. It's a lot of money, and you don't want to just make a mistake and blow it. You've got a lot of people riding on these decisions. You're riding on these decisions. A big deal. And he was a former football player. And so I use the analogy of football. Every business in his area is like a football team. And he's coming in with his football team, and they're joining the league, and this is the first time they've even ever played in this league. And he has to understand that he's coming into a league playing against teams who've been playing this for a really long time. They're really good. And obviously what I mean is these companies have been doing Google Ads and other kinds of advertising for many years. They're spending tens of thousands of dollars. They pay attention to the numbers. They've worked out the math. They know how much money they get back for every dollar they spend. And he's coming into this competition, and he hasn't done this before. He doesn't know how much money he has to spend to get a customer. He doesn't know what he's going to end up having to charge to make sure that he's making a profit. He hasn't done all this, so it's scary. Hey, quick interruption. Just want to let you guys know that my team and I help companies like yours navigate marketing, get more customers, and make more money. So if you're interested in talking to us, find the link in the description, and we'll see what we can do to help you out. It's the first time he's doing this. But what we got to understand is we're coming in and we're competing against companies who are good at this. And so the goal shouldn't be coming in and thinking I'm going to spend my few $1,000s and I just need to make sure I get a lead, or I need to make X many sales. No. That's okay to think about that. But the big picture is I need to come in and I need to be better than my competition. I need to beat them. And the first step to that is understanding what they're doing. And this channel is a great resource for that, because I work with people all over. I do a lot of this myself. I can give you a lot of hints and clues and kind of show you what companies are doing. And the companies I show you that have awesome websites and get professional photography and have spent tens of thousands a month on Google Ads and local service ads and Facebook ads and billboards, and they sponsor Little League, those are your options too. There isn't some kind of other kind of magic lead generation land where you can go do something completely different than everyone else and get all the leads you need. There's already people doing pretty much everything you can do too. And so being able to see and understand what everyone else is doing will give you an idea. And then I think the best place to focus is, how do I do it better than them? And you don't start out doing everything, but if Google Ads is what you're starting today, or your website, or you're going door to door, whatever it is, you can just write things down. What makes somebody good at this? Why do I think that company's good at knocking doors? Well, they look professional as hell. They wear really sharp clothes. They have a really good script and a good process. Their salespeople are really high energy. You can kind of just start writing down some of these things that you notice yourself, and then those are the things to focus on. And, wrapping this all the way back to the budget, when it comes to advertising on Google, you are competing with your dollars. And when you come into a situation and your budget's $500, you need to look around at the other businesses around you and ask yourself, how much are these people spending? How much are they willing to spend to get a customer? Because in most trades, people are willing to spend a lot more than $500 to get a customer. People spend $1,000, $2,000. If you're building high-end custom homes, you might spend like 20 grand to get a high-end customer. That's just the way it goes. So if you're coming into a situation like that, competing against companies like that, and you're only working with a micro budget that might not even be enough to get one lead, it's good to know that, and it's good to have that expectation. And sometimes you just got to trial and error. You got to go try these things and do it. But the worst thing is when somebody tried doing Google ads with $500, they didn't get the outcome they wanted, which is usually like they didn't close 10 deals. So they just think Google ads doesn't work, and they walk away, and then it takes them years to come full circle and try it again. And the only thing they did wrong is they just had the wrong expectation of what was the outcome they expected to get. So if you're going head to head with other companies and you're doing something like advertising where you're competing with your dollars, just be aware and think through it. Maybe you can even talk to some of them, like, how much are they spending? How much are they willing to spend? Because if they're willing to spend this much and you're only willing to spend this much, they're going to get way more customers than you do.